It's really disheartening.
29-year-old Patty Tracy has been house hunting for nearly 2 years. Even with a six-figure household income, getting into the market seemed tough.
The crisis in the United States is real. It is incredibly difficult for people to buy a home.
Real estate and millennial financial
Have
habits.
you ever wanted to get into the real estate investing game but just didn't know where to start? I have the answer for you. What if I told you you didn't have to have 20% down on a house? You could live with your friends and even help them out in the process. You can cover your mortgage, principal, and interest. And last but not least, you're gonna be getting your hands dirty in your first rental property. Well then, do I have a video for you? We're gonna be going through the complete checklist from things that you need to be doing, things you should not be doing, and things that you're gonna need to do along your journey to get yourself your first house hack. For this video, because we are going to be releasing things along the way, and they are in particular order, so make sure that you watch from the beginning till the end. Do me a solid, hit that like button right now, please, and then we're gonna get right into the video. So just to preface this right here, I do wanna give a little bit of background as far as what house hacking is, just in case people may not be familiar with it. So what a house hack is you essentially buy a house as your primary residence, and you can either rent out rooms or you can buy a duplex, and in that duplex you are able to rent out the other side to someone else. I personally have a home that I rent out rooms in. It has been a great experience thus far, and it's helped me be able to capture my first home at an earlier process than I would have been able to had I started it, you know, when I had enough money to buy a nicer home. Number one is going to be finding the home with your criteria. Right here, I like to use the 1% rule right here. So pretty much what that is if you're looking at the whole purchase price of the property that you are at, you need to be able to charge at least 1% of that purchase price every single month in order to probably generate a profit from that. So what that looks like, if we're going to be looking at this on paper, is if you have a $100,000 purchase price on a house, you need to be charging at least $1,000 as the base rent, because that is what will most likely generate you, a positive cash flow for that time. So keep that in mind. That as prices go up, as housing prices go up, say you have a $400,000 house, it might be a little bit impossible to rent it out for $4,000 a month. So that's where it starts to get into other waters. My house personally was lower 100,000, so I was able to do this pretty easily, but your experience may vary. Step number two in this is going to be finding your real estate agent. These people can make or break you. Find a real estate agent that is not just looking for a commission, but he is looking for the finished product for you and what you are looking for. Most real estate agents will do this for you because they work a lot on referrals, and they know that you're going to be paying them dividends if they give you a good experience. So start looking at properties, look for foundation issues, look for how old the property is. Plumbing and electrical are very big. See when those pipes were last replaced, so what they have, if they're galvanized pipes, if they are, old cast iron pipes, those can potentially cause issues depending on how old they are. So just make sure, before you do something and before the house you're going into, the maintenance is already done. Updated electric is a very big one in this. If you have old knob and tube wiring, like actually some of my house did, make sure that you're getting that updated. Another thing to look into is actually the neighbors. Look at who is around you. A good neighbor can make or break your experience, especially because if the neighbor is crappy, you are not going to get tenants to want to move in with you because they are going to see how bad of, a time they are going to have with that neighbor. Now, something else that I thought I should mention here. How far away is it from highways and other big metropolitan areas? You want to get something, if you can find something closer to a highway, that's going to be able to attract a little bit more tenants. And last, but certainly not least, would you live in this yourself? If it is something you're not comfortable living in yourself, you're not going to want to live in it, and other people are most likely not going to want to live in it as well. So next, but a very important piece that you're going to want to do is check the comps around the area. The comps around the area are what other houses are going to be renting for. The last thing that you want to do is go find a property that you think might rent for $1,500 and can only rent for $1,000, and then you're underwater. So make sure to go on sites like Rentometer, Craigslist. If you go on Craigslist, you can look up rooms by the rent in your area, and then that will give you a good estimate as far as what other homes are going for that are near you. Now, getting to the piece de resistance here, we are almost close to the buying process. If you have a house that's perfect for you, perfect for your criteria, you already have tenants that might potentially be lined up, you're working with a real estate agent or a real estate attorney, you've drafted up your leases and everything, then you can go and get ready to purchase the home. Moving in first to one of these properties, make sure you get, you know, at least like a solid month or something like that where you're able to clean up the property. You use it yourself for about a month so you kind of know the quirks that are going along with it, and then slowly add in your renters to come in, whether you're renting by the room or you're using that opposite side on that duplex. Now, light bulb moment here. You might be thinking, do I have to pay taxes on this? Do I have to, you know, how am I going to be getting my money by this? Yes, you do have to pay taxes on this. So remember, keep your books completely clean. Make sure that you're using software. You can even use a software that I use called Rentastic, which that you'll be able to go into your bank account and just sort of tick off different things. Like when they pay you, for example, you can just find the one where they paid you, and then you'll be able to label that as a rent payment. And then at the end of the year, when you're going to your CPA, you're going to be able to just have it all in a nice document for them. They'll see what the people paid you, what you paid on the house. Now, the last thing I wanted to get into is scaling with this, because eventually you're going to move in, you're going to have enough money and probably want to do it again. Now, something that I am thinking about doing personally is getting something called a quadruplex, which is still, you can get under residential loan terms. It's not commercial, because commercial is 5 units and up. So you can do anything below with 4 units. So I am actually thinking about getting a quadplex, moving into 1 unit and renting out the other 3 units here coming in about a year or 2. So that is an option that you can do if you are looking to scale the most possible to, you know, maximize your house hack before you start getting into commercial properties. If you made it this far, I want to see what you are thinking down below. Let me know where you are at in this process. I would love to help in any way possible. And if you want to get yourself and make sure that you are not broke by the time that you are 30, I recommend you clicking on this video over here to the right.